Holy hell, there are massive buffs and nerfs on the PTR. I'm getting so excited, I'm hyperventilating. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Stylosa and this is Unit Lost, and let's go into detail on these massive changes. So look at this. Ana, biotic rifle damage decreased from 80 to 60, impact damage reduced from 60 to 30 on the Bionade, impact healing reduced from 100 to 50. Oh my God. Ladies and gentlemen, have you ever tried to dive an Ana in the backline? Maybe you play Tracer, maybe you play Genji, maybe you play Pharah, maybe you're Diva, I don't know, Winston, somebody who can dive into the backline. You jump onto the Ana player, she looks at you, she throws a bio grenade at her feet, she heals you, she damages you, you can't be healed, she starts firing at you, she puts you to sleep, and, well, often than not, she kills you if you're Tracer or you're Genji, because, well, she's Ana and she don't care. That is huge. We're going to go into detail on all these changes at the end of the video, and I'm going to sort of theorize on how this is going to play out. But this means Ana can no longer just simply duel people when they dive her, which is a much needed change because Ana is a support, not a goddamn murderer, and she's literally been a murderer. Holy hell. Alright, let's go into the next change because this is a beautiful one. So, what we've got here is Orisa. Fusion Driver, magazine size lowered from 200 to 150, and Supercharger cost increased by 15%. Now, Orisa is not actually out on the live servers yet. This is all still PTR, and of course all of this is subject to change. Orisa could literally stand there and keep firing without reloading. Reducing her magazine size by 50 means, well, she might have to reload sometimes. It's kind of a minor change. Supercharge is what's interesting to me. Harder to actually generate this now by 15% because it gives everybody a 50% damage buff. I think they might nerf the damage buff of this ultimate in the future though, but we'll have to see. Winston gets a massive buff. Cooldown now starts when the barrier is placed instead of when it ends. Holy hell, the only thing we need next is for Winston to be able to destroy his own barrier. So, what happens right now is when Winston drops his barrier down and he goes and does his thing, like so you dive in with Winston, you drop your barrier down, it's not in a great position, you have to wait until the barrier is destroyed. Now, good players and good teams won't just simply destroy the barrier if they know it's in a bad position. They'll leave it because they know Winston's got to wait for it to be destroyed before his cooldown starts. Now, Winston can just jump in, drop his barrier, and the cooldown immediately starts. This is more in line with the way Orisa works. So I think, yes, Winston, this is a massive buff to Winston, but we'll go into detail on this later on in the video. I'm getting so excited. These changes are awesome. Junkrat no longer hurts himself from his own explosions. Effect added to current passive, Total Mayhem. Now, at first, I was like, what? His passive? He's dead. Well, sometimes when you get rezzed and you're in your passives on the floor, it can kill you. So I think that's why that is. But Junkrat can't blow himself up. This is massive. This is really, really massive for Junkrat. This means that you can kind of... I mean, Junkrat could be ideal against dive comps because he can just spam. Like, Junkrat can now run into chokes, mindlessly spam. He doesn't care because he's not going to take any damage himself and blow you the hell up. That is a massive change. And I think that's going to make Junkrat way more effective. But as I say, we're going to go into detail on that. I'm just getting so excited because these changes, all of them, are really, really good. Sombra, holy hell, stealth, sound effects and voiceover distance for entering and exiting stealth reduced to 15 meters. Translocator cooldown reduced from 6 seconds to 4 seconds. So this means you can translocate way more. This is, I think, Blizzard realising they want you to use the translocator in an offensive capacity. Remember when I was at BlizzCon, I spoke to Tim Ford and he said to me while we were doing the live stream, oh yeah, the translocator is like your get out clause. I think they've changed their mind. I think they're like, no, this is an initiation thing. Get in there, do damage with the translocator. Her voiceover distance, we'll get into detail on that in a second because 15 meters is a crucial number for Sombra. It also means, well, when she drops out of stealth, you shouldn't hear her unless you're within 15 meters. ZEN has been massively buffed. ZEN will be in the meta. Look at this. Alternate fire recovery reduced from 1 second to 0.6. That's great. Orb of Discord can now target enemies through barriers. What the hell? Right, let's look at Ana then, because Ana, to begin with, she's too powerful, right? At dueling people. Her healing is great. Her Bionade is a massively good ability when she uses it on herself. And I think that's what Blizzard are trying to target with this update. They're saying, look, we know when you dive Ana, it's very hard to kill her. If a flanker gets into the back line, that flanker's done their job. They've navigated through the enemy front lines. They've found the Ana in the back line. That flanker should really have the advantage, right? Ana still's, she's still got tools to deal with this. She can still put you to sleep. She can still try and do damage to you. And I think it's fair enough that her Bionade has been nerfed in this way. The way I potentially might have done it would have been just nerf the self-heal component of it, but kept it kind of how it is. However, Blizzard have obviously decided that it still is a bit too powerful, and Ana is putting out a bit too much healing. Like, it's kind of weird because I think the supports are in a generally good position. Ana is still kind of the go-to support you want in every single game. In fact, I don't think I've ever played a game this season or even last season without an Ana. So this is going to kind of shake things up a little bit because she's not going to be just as invincible. If Pharah dives her, Farah's probably going to kill the Ana. If Tracer dives her, she's probably going to kill the Ana. So now the favour is with the Tracers and the Genjis and the flankers, which is great. This Ana change, I think it was much needed. Ana players are probably not going to like it, but I think we needed it. The Orisa changes, whatever, we're just going to have to see how that plays out when she hits live, but she was kind of putting out a lot of damage. If you watch my recent video on Orisa, I was like, look, she protects, she absorbs as much damage as she kind of does. Giving her less ammo in a magazine will mean that she kind of does less damage, kind of. But, it's not going to be that much. So I think we're going to see more tuning coming to Orisa before she goes live, and definitely after she goes live. Now, there are a couple of others I want to talk about. So, Winston, this buff is massive for Winston, but not only just for Winston, because, yes, Winston can start recharging his barrier after he drops it immediately now, which is a great change. But think about ZEN, right? ZEN can apply Discord Orb through barriers. This means ZEN's going to be in the meta, ladies and gentlemen, because Reinhardt is in the meta. So ZEN can just Discord anybody he likes through Reinhardt's barrier, which is pretty powerful. But think of it in a more simplistic way. Think about ZEN applying his orb to a Reinhardt. Who can fire through barriers, ladies and gentlemen? That's right, Winston can fire through barriers. So now we're going to have this very interesting dynamic of ZEN Discording the Reinhardt, Winston diving into the Reinhardt and attacking him through the barrier. Now, Winston's actually going to do a surprising amount of damage, especially on a discorded Reinhardt. So that's going to force Reinhardt away. It's not going to burn him down, don't get me wrong, but it's going to do damage to him to make him move. Whereas before, Winston's Tesla cannon, when he's hitting Reinhardt through the barrier, Reinhardt just is like, what? And just stands there and doesn't even care. Now he'll have to care. That is a very, very interesting change. So if we go a bit further and we start looking at dive comp teams. So if we've got Winston diving in onto a Reinhardt, let's say. I mean, you wouldn't necessarily dive into the Reinhardt, but just let's say for argument's sake, this is what we're going to do. The team's set up to dive, so we've got like Winston and Zarya, and they're going to be working together. But we've also got a ZEN. We've got a Lucio. Notice there's no Ana. We're taking a ZEN instead of the Ana, because what we want is that Discord immediately applied, which you can literally apply to anybody you like now, provided you can see them, which is a massive, massive buff to ZEN. You can just annihilate that target. But think about other characters. Think about flankers. What happens if you Discord Reinhardt and Pharah is bombarding him from above? I play loads of Reinhardt, and it is annoying when Pharah starts attacking you, but you don't have Discord Orb on you, do you? I mean, the only time you would have it on you is if you dropped your barrier. So suddenly, Pharah's going to do a lot of damage. And I think things like the pharmacy combo, they're going to come straight back into the game, because if ZEN can just Discord wherever the hell he likes, it's going to be huge. So I think we're probably going to see less Ana, maybe, and more ZEN. Now, Ana's still quite powerful at healing, and obviously Ana's received, well, just nerfs across the board. Ana did more damage than a McCree body shot before, which is not right? McCree's DPS, Ana is a healer. Now she doesn't, so she's not as reliable DPS. It sounds ridiculous that I'm referring to Ana as reliable DPS, but she kind of was. Like, you could rely on an Ana to take out the enemy Pharah, you could rely on her to look after herself if she was dived, and now, well, she's not going to be able to do that, which is good. Let's talk about Sombra, because Sombra, yeah, she's part of the dive comp as well. Like, what I'm seeing is Blizzard want you to be massively aggressive. They don't want this kind of standoff sort of fight happening, which did happen with the tank meta, and kind of did happen at the start of this season with, well, it did happen with the Bastion craziness that went on, which luckily they reverted. So yeah, we're going to see a lot of extremely high damage output, fast engagement, fast fights. I think the time to kill, which is generally, well, it's basically the time to kill, how long it takes for you to kill somebody, is going to go way down if these changes go live, just because of ZEN, because oh my god, that is a huge change. So yeah, let's talk about Sombra, as I said. Sombra's voice effect, or voiceover sound effect, when she comes out of stealth, like she basically goes, "Hello, I'm over here, hello, I'm Sombra." That's basically what she does, which is not great. So now, you'll only hear that if you're 15 meters within Sombra when she does that. Like, so if Sombra's like 15 meters away from you, then you'll hear the noise. This is huge, because the range on hack and the range on EMP is 15 meters. So if Sombra comes out of stealth 16 meters away, and believe you me, a good Sombra will, you won't know they're there. They could come out of stealth, they could crouch, they could like run around into your backline. You just will not know. And the only people that will know where the Sombra is the guys that you've uncloaked by. So if you go invis and then drop the invis maybe on top of an Ana player, but she's at the back, only she will hear you, and it's going to be up to her to tell the team. So communication is going to play way more of a part when coming against the Sombra player, which I think is awesome. Because like right now on live, you just come out of invis and you're like, yeah, whatever. Everybody on the team's like, oh, right, there's a Sombra behind. Like 5 people will go, Sombra's behind us, guys. Or Sombra's just come out of invis. Now that's not going to happen. So this is going to make Sombra way more effective. And I reckon Sombra's going to get shot directly into the meta with this change, because it means she is a true sort of invis character. She can go invis, she can pop up, she can hack, then she can start doing damage. And that is a huge, huge advantage for Sombra. Not to mention her translocator change. Now this thing is going to mean that she can engage with it and disengage, engage and disengage. There was the Pro Overanalyzed I did on the channel a couple of weeks ago, where I showed you the Sombra player, and that was really, really good play there off Rascal. And that kind of play now will be the norm, I think, with Sombra, because she's going to be able to get in and do damage more. She's going to be able to just be more mobile. It's just going to be a lot more effective playing as Sombra. So I'm happy for this, and it's like finally we're going to see more Sombra players. I mean, there are Sombra players out there, but we're going to see it being used in a good way, and hopefully the stupid players who are like, oh my god, we've got a Sombra, we've lost the game, probably won't be saying that after they see this new Sombra, because I think she's going to be awesome. So what about Junkrat? Now, Junkie Baby, he's my favourite character. I always go on about this. I love Junkrat, but he's just not really usable that much because, well, he's Junkrat. He's too inconsistent damage. He doesn't really confirm kills. He just charges enemy ultimates. There's a long list of problems with Junkrat. This is the first of a host of fixes I think he needs. So Junkrat now takes no damage from his own explosion. So this means you can't die to Riptire. How many Junkrat players out there have died to their Riptire? I think I've died at least 5 times a game to my own Riptire, because when you use it, if somebody's on top of you and you detonate it to kill them, well, you're dead as well. So it's like, oh great, we all die to the Riptire. It's stupid. You do a lot of damage to yourself with your own explosions, especially when you're in close quarters combat, which makes it difficult for Junkrat. I mean, the kind of accepted playstyle for Junkrat right now is to sit further towards the back, spam into chokes. This is going to change though, because think about Junkrat's trap. That's great in close range. Think about all of his other abilities. Massive damage, close range. If Junkrat is going in and just smashing damage out, that's going to be awesome. Because think about what I said earlier. I think dive comp is going to come back in a big way. We're going to have very aggressive teams diving on you very, very fast. Think of Junkrat's trap. Well, that's going to be great for tying up attackers who dive on you quick. Junkrat is just he can stand in your face and blow you away. He doesn't care now. So Junkrat's going to do a lot of damage, and he actually could be a very strong anti-dive character. And I think this is a great change. And like I can't wait to test this on the PTR. Like, these changes haven't gone live yet on the PTR, but they're pretty much imminent. So that's going to be awesome. Zenyatta though, guys, this is probably the biggest change in this entire PTR patch. His Discord orb now has just put him in the meta. Like, he was there anyway, kind of. Like, Zen had a good use. You know, I think he was fine. Ana is not going to be as effective, but Zen has just become triply as effective. Like, Zen has basically been shot into the stratosphere with this, and I would be very surprised if we don't almost see Zen as a backbone of a lot of teams. Like, if you're set up as a dive comp, you're going to want a Zen. If you're highly aggressive, if you've got like triple DPS, you're going to want a Zen. If you're like really, really tanky, maybe trying to hold a choke, maybe in that case you might not take a Zen. You might take, I don't know, an Ana Mercy combo or something for like super sustain. I don't know. But I think supports are generally in a decent position. I think it's going to be interesting watching them change up. But these changes are huge, guys. Like, I cannot stress how huge they are. They're going to change the way this game is played. And I honestly think, and I'm not jumping the gun here, I think they're going to change the game in a really positive way. Like, a really, really positive way. We're going to go back into an action-packed Overwatch, and this is what we want. We don't want barrier wars. We don't want Reinhardts just standing looking at each other going, oh, you know, hi, hi, hi. It's fun for the Reinhardt players because it's like mind games, but it's not really that fun for everybody else, and it's definitely not fun to watch, which I think a lot of these changes are designed probably with Overwatch League in mind. But hey, if they make for good games for us, then I'm all for it. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Stylosa, and this is Unit Lost, and this has been a huge update. I want you guys to let me know what you think about this in the comments below. Have they gone too far with Ana? Is Junkrat buffed enough? What do you think about Zen? What about Winston? Guys, there's so many changes. Oh my god. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been Stylosa, and this is Unit Lost. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, then subscribe to the channel, like the video, follow me on Twitter, which is @UnitLostGaming, and I'll catch you guys next time. Toodaloo.